Hello and welcome to another casual random gameplay of American Truck Simulator on official patch 1.39. There's technically no mods. I say technically because having my mirrors symmetrically in the corner and having the navigator more simplified at the bottom, I don't really consider that modding the game. In terms of like physics overhaul or any type of graphical overhaul, I've got none of that. I lost all my progress, like I said, my legitimate progress. So I did go ahead and manipulate my save file a little bit. I didn't want to do it. But it's not like I've done anything that the game wouldn't allow me to do eventually down the road, like get to a certain level or have X amount of dollars. So I don't feel too bad. I lost all my miles driven and all that. So I'm pretty annoyed with that. But, so the purpose of this video, apart from just, doing the casual random. When you play a random game casual, that's being rasual. That's random and casual at the same time. I just made up a word. And I just, got distracted there. That's what happens. So I'm recording at 60 frames. And lately I've been kind of doing that, but I've been struggling and I was wondering why. Well, that's because my potato is like 7 years old and I generally record at 30 frames. Because it takes just that little bit less edge off my CPU, off my computer, right? But right now, it seems like I can handle the 60 frames. I also got rid of my second monitor. I'm only running one monitor. My second monitor, if you will, is a MacBook. And I use that for when I live stream. I'll go on YouTube on the MacBook. That way I don't have a web browser open on my main computer. And you would be surprised the difference that makes. And I made some tweaks to OBS, but I did that a few weeks ago. So right now, I'm just happy to be back on the standard patch because when I was on 1.40 open beta, I crashed a couple times, was having a few issues. It was pretty good overall, though. But I was just like, you know what? Let me just go back to the standard base game. And I'm like, this looks fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with how this game looks. So I went for it. And I also wanted to test out the Big Mac. The good old Mac that everybody talks about. This one's got the least amount of horsepower out of all the trucks in the game that I'm aware of. And I wanted to see without a trailer fully maxed out what this brings to the table. And it looks like we can barely keep it afloat at 150 kilometers an hour. My Kensworth W900 or 900W, whatever the hell it's called. I'm not a trucker. I'm not too savvy with the names. I got that bad boy ripping at about a near 170 kilometers an hour. But the Mac, the Peterbilt, and the Kensworth, they are some of the most preferred vehicles, and the Volvo. So I kind of wanted to see what all the fuss was about the Mac. I'm very picky with how the interior looks and the dash and all that. And what I don't like about the Mac, actually, is this. There's no built-in navigator, so I do have to, have that one opened up. It's not like a huge deal breaker, but it does bother me. Another thing that drives me crazy, that triggers my OCD that I didn't know was triggering it. Or I didn't know was being triggered because I didn't know it was there until I paid attention to it. And it's how some of the windshields will have a little bit of tinting at the top. And there's a mod to remove that from Euro Truck Simulator 2, but I can't seem to be able to do that on my own. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Can't seem to remove it with, sometimes the mods are cross-game. If you know what I mean, like a mod that works in Euro Truck Sim 2 might work in American Truck Simulator. But for some reason, this one didn't work. So one of the things I appreciate about the Mac for a modern, truck is just that. It doesn't have that tint. So that kind of makes it fun. It's really weird, you know, when you look inside your truck, the color, what it looks like. Can you see your side mirrors without having to have the ones that I've got activated now? How fast does it go when you're stomping on the gas? All those things, you know, eventually add up. And to me, they make a difference. They really, really do. The Mac isn't my favorite, but it's growing on me. I mean, in real life, it's the Mac. It's the Big Mac. Everybody knows it. Big Mac was my nickname in high school. I won't necessarily tell you why, because that might be a little inappropriate, but, yeah, and it's just like one of those names that everybody knows, you know? Not everybody knows Kensworth, Peterbilt. I didn't know those names until I started playing the game. Then again, I thought Mac, for some reason, was M-A-C, but that's not the same Mac as, you know, your trainer in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, nor eating a Big Mac. Mac is an M-A-C-K. I'm just being honest. That's all I can do. Yeah, so where that mirror is, not the most ideal. But it looks like we're able to just get it done with this truck. I mean, it's pretty decent. I'm all about, you know, the visual, like I said. That's one of the big things for me. What does it look like when I'm on the inside? If I find there's too much detail or like too many straps or weird things at the top or anywhere else and I find that distracting, or that blue tag that's in my windshield, right? That little blue tag that's there in the I don't know why I'm pointing, you can't see my hand. Some of the trucks have a big fat thing, it's like the size of a box of Kleenex. And it's right there in the middle of the windshield, and I find that really distracting. I find that to be a turnoff. So for a modern truck, like I said, I think it's one of the only ones that doesn't have that tinting. I think that should be optional. I mean, of all the things that you can do in the game, all the things you can customize, I'm just being real. Now, ain't that a load of shit? Every time I go to get a job, and it's always some psychotic road trip like that. I don't like, you know, jobs that are that long. I'm just being real. I really, really don't. But you know what? We're just gonna start it because I'm recording. And for the sake of the recording, I don't want to all be like, I don't like it. I'll just go somewhere else, and then it just kind of drags on and on. No one wants that. Let's get the Mac on track. I've been waiting all day to say that. And it rhymes. Alright, let's get in there. Can't see. Of course it's that one there. Awkwardly positioned. Well, it's not really awkwardly positioned, but for me it is, because I don't really know what the hell I'm doing, you know? Obviously, it's easier this way. Some people will feel like you're cheating when you're doing it this way, but it's no different than in real life and having a bunch of drones, you know, watching you. Then you can watch it from the navigator screen. But get a load of that, at the bottom, how nice that looks. I like the way the Mac looks on the outside, you know? Superficial like that. She's a beauty from the outside, but on the inside, she's a little ugly. Not really a deal breaker if she's got a good soul. Don't ask. I'm really tired and I probably should go back to bed. But yeah, let's give this a little bit of a whirl. Gotta check our mirrors. Got a friend of mine down in Phoenix, Arizona. My good old American friend. Met in World of Warcraft eons ago. He was just a little punk kid. Now he just got his CDL and he's a trucker now. I mean, that's some crazy shit. And he's all like, oh yeah, that maneuver where you kind of go out and then around, that's called a jug move or whatever. Like, there's all this technical stuff. I was like, what is going on? You know? Yeah, I don't like where those mirrors are. I wish I could just rip the mirror off, to be perfectly honest with you. You want to go out as much as you want, or as much as you can, then turn. Look at your mirrors to make sure you don't start clipping your trailer into stop signs and buildings and other vehicles. And that's what gets tricky, right? With the, you know, the longer it is. Like right here, that's the move there I'm going to show you. Apparently in the US of A, this here move is only legal in a few states where you kind of go like this. And then you go, you know, out as much as you can, like that. And you sort of kind of, well, I guess you really do go into the incoming lane. And then you kind of straighten out this way. Usually do that with extreme trailers that are like really long. Then I asked him a question and I said, is it true that no matter what the length of your trailer is, if you have to turn and back up, you fucked up? Roads and everything are designed in such a way in the routes that you're supposed to be on so that you don't ever have to face that hardship. So, yeah. I was like, man, there's some I just can't see myself doing it in one shot. But for this trailer, I'm just glad it doesn't have like those multiple trailers. You know, like they're like almost different subsections of trailers. And I was like, why would you need all that when I got a big, massive load? 130,000 pounds. Getting a little extra dinky trailer. And I was like, weight distribution? He's like, that's it. Otherwise, certain things could collapse. It just better helps with the weight distribution. I was like, no shit. You know, like you learn something new every day. So like here, obviously, you want to turn as far out as you can. Mind you, the trailer I got ain't all that long. It ain't all that long. That's what she said. But it still does the trick, doesn't it? So I'm obviously not going to do the whole trip here. For obvious reasons. It's a 20-hour drive, 1,700 kilometers. That's, you know, like some good 1,200 miles right there. And, yeah. I just ain't got time for that. But, like I said, I wanted to chit-chat. I'm not currently live streaming. I normally would be live streaming, but I felt like I needed a little bit of a mental break. It says frog. That totally looks like a Ford F-150. Why I keep talking like that, I don't know. I've been watching too many American shows with that southern accent. Can't even speak properly. Et après ça, tout d'un coup, on parle le français de la France. And then all of a sudden, I'm speaking French and some wild stuff. See, heading on there down towards Phoenix. I made that my home base, not because of where my friend lives, just because I like the state of Arizona. I've never been there. Maybe I will someday. When COVID and all the other wacko shit going on down there ain't happening. That would be a sight to see, because I've been to New Jersey, I've been to Chicago and New York and Detroit, all that kind of stuff. Just never been down to where I really want to go. You know, like Texas, Arizona, the state of Nevada. And no, I don't want to go to Las Vegas, no offense. Maybe like on the outskirts, but I don't need that whole like casino shit. I'm not into that scene. You know? Unless it's the movie Casino with Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro. Ya motherfucker, you. Oh man, I love that movie. Ah, so good. But yeah, I'm just not into that scene, but I do like the state of Nevada. It's very nice. The desert. Same thing with Arizona. You got scorpions and tarantulas and all this wild assortment of wildlife down there. Whereas if you go further up north into like New York and all that stuff in Detroit, well, then it's just kind of like Canada. And though we have a very diverse ecosystem, when it comes to different species of snakes and all that and lizards, I'm sorry, but the southern states takes the cake, you know? Cactuses or cacti. Just the crazy things you can find down there. And then as soon as you drive up north just a little, it's all gone because it's too cold. That's what I like about the United States of America compared to Canada. I mean, I like my country, don't get me wrong. We have a nice looking country. I just find from a weather perspective, do you know what I mean? Like, come on now, compare, well, like I said earlier, compare like New York City to Los Angeles to like Florida, right? What do we got? Doesn't matter if you go as far east as Newfoundland or as far west as British Columbia, although there's some nice spots there for weather. But I mean, ultimately, winter's winter. We still have 4 seasons, right? You can't escape it. The further north you go, the colder it gets. Whereas in the States, you kind of have like your own blend, don't you? You kind of decide if you want, you know, a lot of rain. Do you want it damp or do you want dry, humid? And then you can choose, you know, do you want to go to North or South Carolina? Do you want to go somewhere in the Midwest? Get that happy balance. You can have it so that you've got most of the seasons, but you don't get like really harsh winters or much snow, so you could go like a little bit north of Florida, right? And that's what I like about the States. You know, if you want to live with crocodiles or I guess it's alligators. I forget, to be honest with you. I think it's alligators that's in the States. I know the differences when I look at them. I just don't remember which one lives where. But yeah, you can have all those kinds of animals. But like I said, you start going up north a couple of hours. There's no swamps or anywhere where you're going to find alligators or crocs in New York, right? Anyhow, so one of the other reasons why I like playing American Truck Simulator is it simulates, you know, those different states. Like now I can tell, look at those palm trees, right? I can just feel like I'm down south in the States. It looks it. And from what Google Street Map has told me as well. But yeah, this is just so relaxing. How's our package doing back there? I bought actually a trailer like that. In the game, of course. I think it was some like 50 grand or something like that. I was like, holy cow. Did that really cost that much money in real life? And there was another little trailer I bought. Oh, it must have been around $100,000. I was like, what? Mind you, that was in Canadian dollars. I think it was like 125,000. So it might have been like 90,000 US dollars. I'm like, man, that's a lot for just a trailer. That doesn't even include the truck. But yeah, these trucks are no joke. They cost a lot of money. Big, big bucks. So again, the Mac, it feels good. I mean, they all kind of feel good. It looks good. I'm not too crazy about the inside. I mean, it's not terrible. I appreciate that clean windshield. That nice yellow bar in the middle there off to the side where the frame of the truck is. I kind of like that. It's very minimalistic. It's not terrible. But that top speed, though, and I mean, I know I'm carrying something there. I don't know if it's got more torque or can do the quarter mile a little quicker. But I think it is one of the slower trucks, and I mean, it does have less horsepower. Again, I'm not saying horsepower always equates top speed, obviously. I'm not well versed, in the truck car world, even though I'm into it. I'm not going to claim to be all that knowledgeable about it. But yeah. Now that I'm down to one monitor, I don't even know how long I've been recording for. That can be problematic. Sometimes I like to just kind of keep tabs, like, oh, it's been 22 minutes, kind of like a South Park episode. Maybe I should wrap it up. Or at least mark the time as to when I started, which I didn't do that. Where am I, anyways? Okay, I was gonna say, it feels like I'm in Arizona, California-ish, And of course, Colorado. I would love to go there in Utah. Like, that would be something. But I bought Idaho and, Washington, so that's pretty nice. So it's starting to get filled up. I wish we could get Texas. I feel like Texas would be wicked. And maybe like somewhere in Mexico or something. Just a little bit, just to start in there. Even if you only get like this part of Texas, give us a little bit of Texas, And then maybe work our way down out east. I would love to do, like an LA to New York kind of thing. But anyhow, this whole time I've been recording, we started off in Tucson, right? And now we're just about in Ehrenberg. And I mean, look at the distance I got. I got to go all the way to Hornybrook. Like, ay. That's going to be something. But yeah, just a casual random gameplay, some yapping, checking out how the folks are doing out there around the world. For the 3 or 4 people that might see this video. I'm also testing out my new gimmick. Because I don't have a second screen, I can turn on and off my light here. As you can see at the touch of a button, I can stream or record. Notice how that button in the middle at the top is like a brighter green than a dark green like some of the other icons? Well, that's because I know I'm recording, and my microphone's at the bottom right, so I know that it's on. I no longer need to, well, here, let me do it while we're at it. I no longer need to do, something like this, and do you know what I mean? Here, let me enable the preview so I can see what I'm showing you. Yeah, so like right there, that little red thing or at the bottom in the taskbar behind my pumpkin head, that shows me I'm recording. Yeah, 23 minutes. There you go, like a South Park episode. Microphone is on. I could see that now, obviously, but this is an absolute, like, godsend. It's really, really excited about that. Anyhow, I think that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to play it with next to no mods, just to kind of see how it looks and feels, because I had a heavily modded 1.40 open beta, like I said. Yes, I had to kind of manipulate a few things, get all these trucks and all that. I'm a really high level, but it's really about this here, the progress history, Total driven distance. My other game, believe it or not, I only had about 6,000 or 7,000 kilometers in, and I had about 12% of roads explored, I think. Somehow I only have half of that now, but total driven distance is already almost there. I must have driven on the same roads a lot. And I've only done 4 deliveries because I've mainly been, just driving around. Oh, it shows how many deliveries I've canceled. Well, don't do that. Don't be showing when I quit. Damn it. Anyhow, so as always, if you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It greatly helps support the channel with the algorithm and making me more relevant in the search results when people are looking things up. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll just break it off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, as always, naturally, that would be greatly appreciated. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I shall see some of you in the next video. And we hit that truck. Damn it. Alright, bye for now.